Yeah, so this is a very interesting story, but I thought I needed to share it for certain people who take these journeys and these milestones. It's a very interesting milestone for me, but some time back when my late husband was alive, we attended a function, we attended a program, and we sat at a table. And that is why I always say I love innocence, the innocence of children. We went to the program and we sat there, we were having a conversation, and my daughter was with us, and my daughter, we met friends from that family, and we sat at that table, and the young lady was asking a question about generations, and she was very young, she was a young child. She says, I realized that your dad and your mom, your dad is older than your mom, like much older than your mom. And then Fafali was like, yeah, I've always asked them. So they started to ask us questions about life and everything. Then they asked me how I met my husband, and young children, very innocent minds. And then we started talking about our journey and how I ended up marrying in a different generation and how we get together and how we spend time. But the interesting thing of this milestone is on our way back home, my late husband made a comment about the fact that to get to a destination, a lot of times we have to take winding roads, but the winding roads always do not lead forward. Some of the winding roads would actually bring you back, and then you turn around before you get to your destination. And I had never ever seen it like that. And he was trying to explain to me that you married in a different generation to get to your future, because of course marriage is future. And so I started to think critically about this process, and it went beyond the conversation with the young people about whether you marry in different generations or you live in different generations or you do things differently. But it brought to fore the core that a lot of us operate in life with forward movement and say that you could derail but come up. It's very key. But then I've realized that sometimes even to reach your pinnacle of success or your pinnacle of power, what I call your pinnacle of power, your winding road may take you back to bring you forward. So if you are on a road in your life, love, and labor at any stage, your work and your business now, your own life, and you've seen that there is a road you're taking, but it seems to be taking you back, it doesn't always mean you are retrogressing. It's actually a way forward. So if something seems to be holding you back, or something tells you, they say sometimes when you're in school and you study and they tell you to repeat a class, you sometimes think, oh my God, it's embarrassing. How do I go through this? But sometimes you repeat a class because they want you to do what? Go forward. Repetition of a class in school is not to retrogress you. It's actually to strengthen you, not to retrogress you, but actually to strengthen you for the way forward. We look at it as, hey, repeat, my friends will laugh at me. Hey, repeat, it's because I was bad. And yes, maybe you just didn't do well that time, but it will strengthen you. And when you go forward, sometimes you accelerate. And so I've realized that the winding roads in our lives, be it every part of our life, love, labor, will take us back like a repeat in secondary school or primary school or whatever class to strengthen us. It will take us back, sometimes generations. It will take us back. But it is our mindset that would enable us come forward. When it takes us back, you have to think, why am I going back? What am I going back to do? And those are the things that will bring you forward. So when you are repeated in class, what is the reason and what can you do about it, rather than, oh my God, I'm embarrassed. And that is what I said, that in marrying in the generation, different generation, how do I make it good? How do I make it better? How do I make something out of it which will impact others, so that it doesn't seem like you're going back a generation, but you're rather moving forward and accelerating a generation. Every winding road is a winding road that takes you to your pinnacle of power. Don't see a wind back as a retrogression. See a wind back as a curve and a bend to your way forward.